Oh, okay. Let's see if I can get through this without sneezing or having to blow my nose too much. The weather is turning, so it's drying my sinuses out, and it is making me suffer a little bit. I am not used to having any kind of dry weather. Still, we're on this is our 20, 21, 22, 20, this is our 4th winter here in Pittsburgh, and it still tears my sinuses up every year. Back in South Carolina, where I'm from, it is a swamp all year, so I have my entire life had an excess of moisture. Not anymore. Wow. My name is Leigh. Welcome to the corner. This is where we sit and I chat about all the crafty things that I have been up to. And I have a new mug. Look at it. It is from Sarah White Ceramics. And I love it. I love it so much. I want to get a Christmas one from her this year too. Hopefully she has some cute Christmas ones come out. I'm doing tea instead of coffee this morning because I'm out of coffee. So that's great. Let's try to clear off this background a little bit. It's looking pretty clear though, honestly. You may have noticed that this shelf is like completely empty. This was my fall sock yarn shelf, and I am just currently in the midst of a huge studio clean situation. We are, well, if you're new here, you may not know this, but if you are not new here, I've mentioned before that Brad and I are both thinking about switching careers, and we will need this studio space to be an office for both of us, not just me. So I am currently doing a big ol' clean. I'm starting to plan my reorganization of everything, and it's just starting to show in the background. So there you go. All right, what do I have today? I didn't tell you that this was a primarily knitting podcast, but it is, and there's also some cross stitch and some crochet and some sewing periodically. Today it is exclusively knitting, I think. No, I do have some sewing acquisitions, but I'm not going to show them to you because I don't know. I don't know if anyone is actually that interested in it because I haven't done anything with it yet. I'm just building a fabric stash at this point. I am planning to start a new bag today, so when I finish projects, I will show them to you then. That's when you'll see my fabric that I get. I believe it has been a minute since I filmed last. I had to go watch my last episode to know what projects I finished since I talked to you last. And I finished a few things. I have 3 finished objects today. I have pulled 2 projects out of hibernation, and I have cast on a new thing. Nope, I've cast on 2 new things, and one of them is a saga. I cast on the West MCAL, the Geogradient shawl, and I have to tell you all about it. That will be the last thing I do today though, because it is, I mean, it's not like long, but it's more than the other projects. So yeah, let's get started with finished objects. First finished object is a pair of socks. These are done, but in my usual fashion, they are done without the ends woven in. This is just who I am as a person, I guess. I'm just stuffing ends into the socks here. These are one of the pairs of socks I cast on like October 1st to kick off spooky season, and I am done with them now. These are my Schitt's Creek socks. They are a sock set from Murray & Company Wool Goods, and the colorway is, "This wine is awful, get me another glass," which is a quote from Moira Rose when she does the wine commercial, if you've seen Schitt's Creek. But it's got this beautiful black and white and lime green speckle, like apple green, and then a like wine red contrast color. And I made these for me. They are a 64 stitch sock. They have a 1x1 ribbed cuff, which I really enjoy right now. And they are just a simple like pearl bump texture. Like every couple of rounds I would do a pearl bump, like knit 3, purl 1, and I would stagger them, and that's the only texture that's on them. Didn't use a pattern or anything. My vanilla sock recipe is always in the description box below. And I just used my vanilla sock. Focus on me? You want to focus on me? Okay. I just use my vanilla sock recipe and just insert a texture sometimes. It is easy to do. I just do not put the texture on the bottom half where the sole of my foot will be. And those are done. Second FO is a garment that I don't know. I'm on the fence with how I feel about this one. I have not worn it yet because I'm on the fence of how I feel about it. But I finished my lodge sweater. My striped lodge sweater. It's a little bit wrinkly because I had it folded in the closet. And she is beautiful. Like, this is a beautiful sweater. I knit this out of Barocco Ultra Wool, which is a 100% superwash wool. It is not merino. I used the color orange as the main color, and then I used the colors raspberry, lemon, and nasturtium for the contrast stripes, which is not in the pattern. I added these myself. The pattern is for just a one color sweater, and I love how the stripes turned out. I also did it down the sleeves, and it has a rolled cuff. And I don't know if you can tell, but the sleeves are actually what's wrong with this sweater. The body and everything fits super great. It blocked super soft, is really drapey, especially for a worsted weight sweater, but I knit the sleeves too long. They're too long. I feel like a lot of you would probably be like, no, this is the perfect sleeve length. It comes down to like here. I cannot wear sleeves like that. I wanted these sleeves to be rolled up, and when they're rolled up, be like this length, because I can't stand having things on my wrists. It's a sensory issue. I can't do it. So these are too long, and I guess it wouldn't be a big deal to rip them out and just reknit the cuff, but I haven't gotten to that point yet. I'm just not there. So I think I would have to rip back to possibly like remove this stripe completely and this completely and start the ribbing right after this stripe. I'm pretty sure like that's how too long they are. Cause like, even if I roll them so that the cuffs are all the way up, not just folded in half, they're still too long. They're still too long. Yeah, so I don't know. I'll have to try it back on and decide again, because I may need to finish at this guy and start the cuff. I don't know. We'll see. So besides that, it's perfect. The length, the body, everything. It is a pattern by Ozetta, and this is the second one I've knit, and I love it so much. I need to just compare the sleeve length to the other one I knit because it's perfect. It's got a split hem, and it's just a cozy, comfy sweater. Highly recommend this pattern. It is very simple to knit, especially for an Ozetta pattern. She can get pretty, not complex, but adventurous with her construction methods, and this is a very basic construction. So this is a really good one if you want to try an Ozetta pattern but are scared of like complicated construction. This one's very good. That's it. That's all I have to say about that. I'll keep you updated if I decide to fix the sleeves. Last FO is another garment. I'm so excited about this one. This one I am super proud of. I have already worn it like out for a day, so she's nice and lived in, but I finished my Moon Crush pullover. This is a pattern by Jacqueline C. Slack, and I loved it. It took me a little bit longer than it should have probably to get through it because I kept getting distracted and it kept getting put in like hibernation because I would start other things. But I've been in a finishing mood lately, so now it's done. I have glitched. Oh my god, my brain just glitched. Anyways, this is the front and this is the back. I absolutely adore that they're different. And as you can see, I had enough of this color to finish the sleeve. I love that it has two different color sleeves. I love that I had enough yarn to finish this one off. I think I didn't have a whole lot left. Like there wasn't a lot left over, but that's okay. As long as I made it, that's all that matters. And yeah, I did the crew neck version. She does a crew neck option and also a big like open scoop neck version. I opted for the crew neck and I'm so pleased. I also shortened the sleeves a bit because of my previously mentioned sensory issues. I don't like my sleeves to touch my wrists. I also was worried that I would run out of this yarn. So my goal was actually to make these 3/4 length sleeves, but I ended up being able to get them a true bracelet length for me. So they end up about here when I wear them, which is absolutely perfect. I was also, if you saw me talk about this while I was a whip, was super worried that this would be too small. Super worried. It is not. It fits perfectly. It is beautiful. And I did add length to the body. It is modified from the original version, but it is a modification that she tells you how to do. She says if you want to add more length, just stick it here, and I did that. I probably added a couple of inches, and it is still pretty cropped on me. So if you want to knit this, be sure to add length if you don't want it to be just like, I feel like if I had knit it to her specifications, there could have been some like boobage happening. Like it's really cropped. So add some length if you like that, and maybe add more than you think, I guess, depending on your yarn choice, because I used a non-superwash yarn, so it didn't grow all that much. If you use a superwash, it'll grow a little bit more. So yeah, I used, by the way, the yarn Pearl Soho Linen Quill. I'm in love with this yarn. I hear mixed reviews about this yarn because of the way it feels. Some people think it's scratchy or prickly, and I just think it is so soft and so lovely. Like, look at this drape. It's very lightweight. It's a, do I have a tag? Oh, here. This is a yarn that is 50% fine Highland wool, 35% alpaca, and 15% linen, which is just a glorious combination in my opinion. I'm a big fan of non-superwash wool to begin with, and having that alpaca makes it soft, but it's not enough alpaca to like damage the integrity because alpaca tends to stretch. And then the linen, it gives it a beautiful heathered look, also adds to the strength and durability of the yarn. Come on, there we go. Oh, beautiful. The colors I used are Kiln Red. I don't remember the other two colors. Let's check out the project page real quick, shall we? All these socks I've been starting, including the ones I just showed you that I finished, I haven't put on Ravelry yet, so sorry about that. Moon Crush Pullover. I've been bad about updating it. Kiln Red, Calendula Orange, which is a discontinued color, which is this one. So gorgeous. And Rose Granite, which is this color here. Those are the three colors I used. I love this. I think this is one of my favorite things, one of my favorite garments I have ever made. It's so comfy to wear. It just turned out so beautiful, so cool, and it looks more complicated than it was to actually knit. And I love that about a piece. That's my last defo. Next, I'm gonna show you two more garment whips, and then we'll go on a sock parade. Garment whips. These are both pulled out of hibernation. Sippity. The first one is in this yellow project bag that Brad ordered me from Russia a long time ago. I have no idea where the, like, what shop it is or anything. It was just on Etsy. We didn't even know it was from Russia until he ordered it, and it was like shipping from Russia, and it's like, okay, great. It just has some of my knitting pins on it, and I love it. Just mustard yellow and brown. In here, I have my rock pool sweater. This is a pattern by Lily Kate France, and it is designed as a one color sweater. And I am making it striped. I don't have a great photo, but that's kind of what it looks like. It's better for me to just show you the sweater because I pulled this out. I have been on Sleeve Island for this sweater for an eternity. It has been so long. It keeps going into hibernation, and I'm just not really having a fun time with the eyelet sleeve situation here. Doing it. It looks beautiful. But this is my rock pool sweater. I'm making a like color block stripey version with these three gorgeous colors. These are one of the first, this is one of the first hand-dyed sweater quantities I ever bought. This is yarn from Explorer Knits, and this was from the OG Italy collection, the first time it ever launched. And these are three of the tonals from the Italy collection. I have Limoncello, Balsamico, and Azzurro. Azzurro? There we go. Or, yes, Azzurro. And I finished one sleeve. Finally. Now this sleeve looks itty bitty. Why does it look so silly? I actually tried this on, and it is a set in like kind of drop shoulder. So and I don't know if you can tell, you can kind of tell in this shirt especially, I have pretty narrow shoulders. So I have these very generous shoulder situation things here. So my sleeve doesn't actually start until about here, about where my, and then again, I don't want my sleeves to go all the way down to my hands. So the sleeves end up going to about like, I don't know, here-ish maybe. Like I want to say like an inch shorter than I actually want them to be. But this is a superwash yarn, like 100% superwash merino. And this is an eyelet texture. So I have a sneaking suspicion that this is going to stretch. This is going to grow quite a bit. So I think before I start the second sleeve, I'm actually going to block this, and I'm going to check and see that the sleeve length is right. And then get started on the second sleeve. Because if it grows to the length I need it to be, then it's actually way less knitting than the pattern says, and then maybe I can actually get through it and finish the sweater. So this is the texture of the sleeve. It's not bad, it's just eyelets on large needles. This is on a pretty large needle. What is the needle size? 8? I think it's a US 8. It's a DK weight sweater. Pretty loosey-goosey. And yeah, that's what I did. I finished a sleeve on my rock pool sweater. That's all I'll give it. Next garment is another one I pulled out of hibernation. In this project bag that I made myself, it is just a quilted project bag. I have my slanty stripes. Yes, you heard that right. My slanty stripes has returned. And I've been really enjoying working on this again. So I pulled this out, and I had gotten, when last time you saw it, I don't know where it was the last time you saw it, but I finished the back. I did all of the armhole shaping. I knit up to the shoulder seams. I wove in most of the ends as I went, but I do have a couple still to weave in. And that's what my stripes look like. I have it on hold on at my sleeve seams, shoulder seams. There we go. It's rolling in a little bit because it's stockinette, so it's looking not as wide as it actually is. but it's beautiful. This is a pattern by Emily Curtis, and I am a big fan of her patterns. I've knit the stripy turtle tank once and started it, like planned to knit a couple more. I'm really enjoying this one. It has these slanted intarsia stripes that are just really nice and cool. I am knitting this out of a mini skein set that I got from Little Lionhead Knits, and it was the 70s mini set, and it had this gray, this pale yellow, this orange, this green, and this gold color in it. And the main color I am using is Brooklyn Tweed Peary, which is a now discontinued yarn, RIP, in the color Hickory, which is a beautiful true brown. And I'm knitting the size 4. I think everything I've shown you today I've knit the size 4, except maybe the lodge. I might have knit the size 5 on the lodge, can't remember. But yeah, I finished the back, and I am now starting the front. I cast on, I did the ribbing, and I have finished the first stripe for the front. I would just really love knitting with Peary. I like get through the intarsia stripes pretty quickly because they're only 5 rows, and then I'm back to knitting with that juicy, delicious Peary, and it's so good. But yeah, that's what I got about, like, for that. I am not changing anything about the pattern. I have one whole skein of Peary left and a chunk. I just need to work my way up through the front. It will be a V-neck, and then I will add on the collar ribbing and the sleeve ribbing, and it'll be done. I love a sleeveless project. I think they're so good. Don't have to worry about the sleeves. That's it. That's it for garments. All I have left is a sock parade. All right, I had finished one pair of socks that I showed you. I did refill that project bag with another pair of socks. But before I show you those, I will show you the other sock whips I have going. First one is in this coffee project bag that I made. Coffee and pastries with a cute little floral lining. In here, I have my Bumblebee Acres K-Drama Yarn Club from July socks. It is Hometown Cha Cha Cha. And these are so cute. These are the only socks I have on the go right now that aren't really, oh no, that's not true. Most of my socks are like fall or Halloween themed. These are not, but I've finished a sock. This is what it looks like. This is the yarn. The blue is the contrast color from the sock set. Their coquette base is the Corriedale nylon blend, which is super plump. So these I am knitting 60 stitches on a US 1.5 needle, and they're turning out like perfect. Still even maybe a little bit roomier than my normal 64 stitches. So lovely. These are truly vanilla. I just added 3 stripes around the leg of contrast color and a toe. I did not do a contrast heel. And they're just so cute. This color is just so cute. And I have not started the second sock yet. I just have the one sock finished, and they're sitting here waiting to be cast on. I just kept getting distracted by Halloween socks. I did also do a little bit of knitting on my brother's Christmas gift socks, which are in this project bag that I made. I don't even know if it's going to be enough to like show you really, but I am working on this pair of socks for my brother for Christmas, and I've done maybe like an inch. No, I think I was right past the heel, so I've done a couple of inches since you saw it last. They're really dark and moody. They have this brown contrast color. I'm doing heel, toe, and cuff. And then this is the 3x1 ribbed. It's actually 3x1 broken rib. And that's the color. It's really dark, but very cool. And these are knit out of the Wildfoot the hand paint Brown Sheep Company hand paint Wild Foot luxury sock yarn, which is a 75% washable wool and 25% nylon, and it's very woolly feeling. So I did just a little bit on those. I have not touched my Coffee Hut socks, which are, I showed you in the last episode, they're like my fall socks. I need to pull them out and keep working on them just because they're still sitting in the spot from the last podcast episode. I literally haven't taken them downstairs to work on them, which means I haven't had any work done. But anyways, the next, oh no, not these. That's my new cast on. The other pair you have seen are in, yes, my sparkly spiderweb bag that I also made. I made myself a whole bunch of drawstring pouches and I love it. I need to make myself a bunch of Christmas ones too. In here we have, what the heck? Well, I guess it's not in here. In here we have Brad's Freddy Krueger socks, and I finished one completely, but I guess I left it downstairs. It must be stuck in the couch somewhere. But I've started the second one and I'm on the heel currently. So it's a bit of an awkward spot, but this beautiful yarn is from Nomadic Yarns, self-striping, and it is called I'm Your Boyfriend Now, Nancy. And I love it. Look at that green. Wild. So bright. So yeah, I finished one completely. I am on the second one now. These are for Brad, like I said. These are 68 stitches instead of 64, but I'm knitting them on a size 0, I believe. Yeah, I think these are a US 0 needle, and doing them vanilla to really emphasize those stripes. I accidentally knit the second one. The cuff is 1 stripe longer than the other pair, but he will never notice. He will absolutely never notice. I just made sure to do 1 less stripe on the leg so they end up being the same total length. That's it. That's how that's going. Vanilla. And I only have 1 more sock whip to show you, and it's on to acquisitions. Oh no, that's not true. I have to show you, there's a big fuzz on my project bag. I have to show you my other project that has a saga, my MKAL update. The last pair of socks I have to show you is a new cast on, and these are in my last Halloween drawstring pouch that I made for myself, which is my Headless Horseman one. And I got sock mail. This is also an acquisition. I got yarn in the mail and I immediately had to cast it on. There's also a progress keeper on here that you haven't seen. This is the one that a couple of episodes ago I had left downstairs and didn't get to show you. So now I get to show you. But I got a package from Rita. She had dyed this beautiful yarn, X Sleepers Fibers. This is her Soul Knit base, which is her regular merino nylon blend. And the color is called Nightbreed. And I had to have it. So I ordered it. It came like the next day because we live in the same town. And I cast on immediately. Oh my god, what a perfectly Halloween color. This is my Bond Weave sock pattern. I wanted to do a texture with this yarn. So I'm doing my Bond Weave socks, which are one of my favorite, like almost vanilla sock patterns. I love having a pair of these on the go. I designed it. It is available on Ravelry and currently on Etsy, although I may be closing my Etsy store vaguely here pretty soon. But this is how this goes, or this is how this is looking. I have a progress keeper on here from Charmed and Dangerous. It came with my like apple cider cup that I showed you a couple episodes ago. And this is the little tiny ghost cookie I got. He's so cute and tiny. He's so small. This is the first sock. I am knitting the size medium, which is a 64 stitch sock from this pattern. And I am past the heel, as you can see. I did do a Fish Lips Kiss heel instead of the German short row heel that I include in the pattern, just because it is my preference. I highly encourage anyone who knits any of my patterns to do whatever heel they prefer. It is written basically for a generic short row heel, like do you. And I am just trucking along on these. Oh my gosh, making a mess. What the cake looks like. There we go. Rita really knocked it out of the park with this one. Look at that, oh my gosh. Oh, it's so good. Let's do an update on MKAL. Spoiler, I'm not doing it. In this bag, there's a needle. Oh no, it's still on the project. Oops. This is a big, like, chunky bag from World Market that I was gifted by my stepmom. And in here I have my MKAL starts. You heard that right? Plural, 2 starts. First, but the Stephen West MKAL, I was on the fence about participating. And then I said, if I have the yarn, I will participate. And I went digging through my stash. I said, oh, I bought these 3 colors to use together. So I want to use these 3 colors together. If I can find a 4th color, I'll be golden. So I pulled out these 3 colors that I'd bought to use together. Green, green, green. These are all from Less Traveled Yarn, who I don't think is dying anymore. And I pulled out several options of a 4th color from my stash and wasn't sold on any of them, so I bought a 4th color. And my 4th color is this. Neon. This is a Hedgehog Fibers sock yarn. I don't remember the color. And I did not make a project page for this project because I just hadn't gotten around to it, and now I won't. So I love these colors together. I think I'm still going to use the 4 of these in a project together. Oh God. Just not this project. They need a good tidy. So the original Clue 1, I got this far on it. There was drama. I had gotten into the first quadrant here, into these last 4 stripes. When the drama came out and I modified, I ripped back a little bit and I just switched the order of these last 4 stripes so that these stripes of dark color would be connected all the way around so that no symbol would be obvious. Then Stephen came out with his video talking about how he feels like we should just scrap this Clue 1 altogether completely. And it really kind of like, well, first of all, I lost steam a little bit when the drama came out to begin with. I was like, oh, I don't know how is this gonna go? It just all seems like kind of a big hubbub, and I don't know if I want to like wait for updates, and I've already started this one and I'm very much on the like, I have to ride the inertia, and if I lose excitement about something, I'm just not gonna do it. So I was kind of on the fence about continuing, period. And then when but then I talked myself into modifying it and continuing. And then he put out that update that was like, we should just scrap Clue 1 completely. I want a completely fresh start. I'm not accepting any versions of that Clue like as official MKAL versions. So let's just start over clean. And I was like, oh, again, okay. So it kind of like it hit the brakes one more time, and I think he handled it so gracefully. I think he did a wonderful job. He did everything the way he was supposed to do. He handled it all with grace, and I totally respect him for that. This has absolutely nothing to do with him. My opinion of Stephen is no less than it was before. I just have a problem with ADHD, and if someone, like if I have to stop and change direction in a project suddenly, I will just get bored and do something different, which is just how my brain works. So I did give it a solid go and try knitting a modified Clue 1 again using one of the pattern testers. I believe it was a pattern tester. She did this like triangle version where you do the wedges and then knit them together, kind of like how I did my fragmentation shawl. But I got to the second triangle here, and I knew from the beginning that when the way she was doing this join here is different than the way Steven does it in like the fragmentation shawl. I just knit that thing. I haven't done this join so many times. I even had to actively stop myself from doing it the way he did it to do it the way she said to do it because I was trusting the process. I don't like the way it looks. I don't think it looks as good and as clean and as tidy as his does. And that annoyed me a little bit, and now I'm just not gonna do it. I'm just not doing the whole shawl. It is really not that big a deal. Like I told you, I have been stop and go with this project the entire time. I think it just wasn't meant to be. I am okay with that. There are so many other things in this world that I want to knit. One of them not working out is totally fine. I am not upset about this. I will use this yarn for another shawl, another time, maybe even a Stephen West one. I was looking at some of his other 4-color shawl patterns and I might just do one of those. Maybe one of the ones he comes out with this winter will be the one. Who knows? My legs are kind of cramping up. I did an event yesterday, my last event. I did the Pittsburgh Zine Fair. And so I was sitting like all day and now I'm all like stiff. So yeah, I guess that's it. That's the saga of my MKAL. I will not be finishing it. We are, however, going to talk about acquisitions now. I've been in a pretty finishing mood anyway, so I like finishing 2 garments was really satisfying, and picking up a couple of hibernating projects and possibly finishing those soon is also pretty satisfying. I've said this a million times and I will continue to say it until I die, that it all comes in waves. If I have a bout of cast-on-itis, then it's okay, because soon I will have a bout of finishing energy, and it all balances out in the end. All right, acquisitions. The first acquisition I'm going to show you was a gift from a friend that I forgot to show you last episode, even though it was here. But my friend gifted me some yarn. It's in a bag. It is a decent amount of yarn. It is actually, there's a ball of sock yarn in here too. This is from when my mom was visiting with my brother, and this is the other yarn that he had picked out for his Christmas socks. So I will also be knitting these for my brother. Anyways, my friend had ordered a kit a couple of years ago for a Stephen West MKAL. Huh, who knew? And she just never knit it. She didn't want to do it. So she decided to pass the yarn along to me. This yarn is Isaer Alpaca 2. Fuzzies from other colors on here. Isaer Alpaca 2. It is a 50% alpaca, 50% wool yarn, and these are 50-gram skeins. So I have 2 of each color in here, and there are 5 colors, and these are the 5 colors. Oh my gosh, they're so nice. This yarn is beautiful. It is so soft. I don't know if all of these together are exactly me. This color in particular is not one I would normally choose, but this is a gorgeous color anyway and will make wonderful gift knits. These 3 colors in particular are me. So I might have to find something to do with these 3 colors. They're very gorgeous. Or maybe I will knit something nice and big and squishy with all of them as a gift for someone else. I don't know. They're so soft. That 50% alpaca is going to make the most luxurious shawl. Other acquisitions. I ordered a couple of progress keepers from my dear friend Rochelle. She came out with a couple of spooky themed progress keepers. And I ordered a couple. A little spider and a little pumpkin. Oh, I love them so much. They're so cute. And I got at work, I found, oh dang, I've been rambling today. At work, this came into work and I have been thinking about one of these because This is a product that was super trendy in like the 70s. Y'all. This one in particular is from 1971. And I just think that's so cool. I think I might try to use it and make myself like a flower blanket. But I got a flower loom. If you're in the like vintage knitting scene at all, you may have heard of these, but this is in the package from 1971. It was opened, like I stapled it shut because this was at work and I wasn't sure if I was gonna buy it or not. But they would use these and make like flower loom blankets and stuff, and they were so cool, or shirts or whatever, you know. I think that it was super fun. So I have this now, and if I decide I want to try out one of those, I will do it. So yeah, this is a picture of one of the flowers made on the loom, but the picture is made out of like a raffia, but you can also do it with yarn. And there are 3 different size loops on here, loop sizes on here. So that's a lot of fun. Yeah, we got a flower loom. I also got a couple of yarny acquisitions. I got my, did I not show you this last time? I did not. I got my September K-Drama Yarn Club from Bumblebee Acres Farm. And this one is kind of spooky. This one is All of Us Are Dead, which I have watched. Brad and I both watched this one together, actually. This was a like zombie thriller. It took place in a high school. Their uniforms were like this color and their blood. So it's all like black, red, and the school uniform green. So All of Us Are Dead. It was very good. If you like zombie horror, I recommend it. It was a fun time. And then the other one I got is my soup pre-order from Erin of Coast to Coast Yarn Co. She did a soup pre-order a while back, and my sock set finally came in. I only ordered 1 sock set. I'm very proud of myself. And it's gorgeous. I ordered borscht. The contrast colors are Leek and Creme Fraiche. This is Leek, this is Creme Fraiche. And this is borscht, the main color. It is so rich and gorgeous. I'm a little bit nervous about knitting it together with the Creme Fraiche. But I trust Erin knows what she's doing, and I'm sure it'll be fine. But look how gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I don't know what socks I'm gonna knit with this yet. But it's so good. Oh. I actually wanted to cast this one on immediately as well. But I'm being good. I'm waiting. And that's it. I mean, I did buy that neon hedgehog yarn for my MKAL, and I bought the Halloween yarn from Rita as well, but I showed you both of those already in projects. Oh, hold. Sorry, I have sacroiliac dysfunction. So sitting all day yesterday and then sitting right like on the floor like this is messing up my left hip joint. That's it. That's all of the knitting I have. I believe I am going to do some classwork today. It's been a minute since I've been able to sit and do classwork because I've been working and I had a show yesterday. So I'm gonna do some classwork today, and I might sew. I bought a new sewing pattern. I bought a pattern for the I guess that's another acquisition. I don't physically have anything to show you, but I bought the pattern for the Firefly Tote by Noodlehead, and it is a really cute bag. So I think I might start a Firefly Tote today. But for now, I'm gonna let y'all go. I don't have a whole lot of life updates, except I'm still going to school. I did that event yesterday, the Pittsburgh Zine Fair. It was great. It was a success and a lot of fun. I will really miss doing events. We are planning on going back down to South Carolina to visit soon, like early next month-ish. And so we'll be home visiting then. Hopefully I can get another episode up before then. If not, I will have to see you after that. I do also have a friend coming into town to visit us here the last weekend of October. So episodes maybe sparse, even more sparse than they have been over the next like month. So thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a great fall season, and I will see y'all next time.